A domestic violence and sexual offences court sitting in Ikeja, Lagos State on Wednesday sentenced the pastor Michael Olise to life imprisonment for defending his friend's 3-year-old twin daughters. Justice Abiola Sholadoye described Mr. Olise, who is the assistant pastor of the Anointed.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're coming across this channel, thank you so much for stopping by, and if you're a return subscriber, thank you for always coming to watch my video. I do not take that for granted. Please, I want to take permission to mix my English with pidgin to enable me say some things which the community may not permit or allow. Okay guys, some of you may have heard of this news of a 54-year-old pastor who was sentenced to life imprisonment yesterday for spoiling a church member's twin daughters. And I'm sharing this story for two reasons. One is to bring parents to awareness, because the victims narrated the story and this happened right under the nose of their parents. When I mean under the nose, like same room where the father sleeps is where the pastor spoiled the pikin. That is where the pastor did the do to the baby girl you grab. So I'm sharing this to bring our parents to awareness, for us to sit up and do our job properly. Secondly, I'm sharing this because justice is served. Even though this case has been on for more than 4 years, I think this case started since 2017 November, and justice was served yesterday. So I'm so glad that justice was served, and I want to applaud Nigeria for doing this, because I want to say this in my own opinion: if the country has been like this, if they continue to serve justice to the guilty or to the offender, I believe it's going to help curtail the rate of crime in the society and the world at large. So let's get right into the video. A 54-year-old pastor identified as Pastor Michael Olise was on Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, sentenced to life imprisonment by the Lagos State Domestic Violence and Sexual Offences Court for his friend's 12-year-old twin daughters. According to reports, Justice Abiola Sholadoye found the convict guilty of 2-count charge bordering on defilement brought against him by the state government. So now I'll go ahead and narrate the story, how it started, where it started, when it started, and where it landed the convict. So the convict, by name Mr. Olise, hails from Delta State and is said to be the assistant pastor of the Anointed Chosen Vessel Ministry, Okota, Lagos, which is where the incident took place. It happened in Okota. And the man in question, the convict, Mr. Olise, eats from same plate with the father of these girls in question. And he started sleeping in their house when the mom traveled on a business trip sometime in 2017. So the first victim narrated that the first time this man forced Ebola into her body, that her father was fast asleep. That means it happened right in the same room, that the man was on the same bed with the father while they slept on the floor, as in while she and her twin sister slept on the floor. And that when she was trying to struggle with him or to shout, that the man threatened to withdraw his assistance to the family, that he will stop giving that job, thereby they are going to starve. So here is exactly the victim's narration. He used to come to sleep in our house. He said there was heat in his apartment, so while my twin sister and I would sleep on the floor, he used to sleep on the bed with my father. While my dad slept, he would come to the floor and force his bola into my body. He has done it many times. He put his bola in my bona. He threatened that if I told my father, he would not take him to work again. He and my father eat and work together. They both sleep on same bed. According to source, the crime had gone undetected until 2018. That's from 2017 to 2018, when the suspects attempted to sleep with the second victim. That's the other twin girl. So as you all can see, this happened right under the parents' nose. And now this is her mom's narration. She said, on a fateful Thursday, my daughter didn't go to school. She was alone in the house. Mr. Olise, that's the culprit, came and chased her. The girl ran into the backyard to hide. He went there and started pulling her drawers. You know what I mean by drawers? The girl shouted. The second twin is wiser and smarter, so she shouted. An elderly woman who came for omugo as in their compound, saw him. When she opened the door, Mr. Olise quickly brought out a phone and pretended to be speaking to my husband on the telephone. He said he wanted to give my daughter something, but she was not ready to collect it. He then put his phone in his pocket and left. The woman, who observed that he did not dial any number on the phone before putting it to his ear, called my husband to ask the children what his friend had been doing to them. That was how the secret was blown open. He slept with my first daughter regularly, but had only succeeded in inserting his fingers into the punar parts of my second daughter. So their mom added that she was disappointed because Olise was trusted pastor and family friend. The victim's dad, on the other hand, doubted it. He couldn't believe it, and this is what he narrated. I trusted him because I thought that he was a man of God. I have a boss, and whenever he had a borehole drilling job, I used the vehicle to take the equipment to the site. He would pay me for the service. He also took my family to his church. Also, whenever my wife traveled, I would take my children to his wife's place in Ikoto. Whenever I cooked, we would eat together from the same plate. I never suspected anything. Even when it was noticed the first time, I doubted it. However, when he agreed to it and said what he did was little, I became weak. This man is funny. I did it to do the do get little one. Anyway, so the case was later reported at the Lagos State Office of the Public Defender, and the victim were referred to the Mirabel Center, Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Ikeja. A social worker at the OPD said the results of the test carried out on the victims confirmed that the girls had been spoiled. You know what I mean by spoiled? Like the man don't do them, open them. The social worker stated, in fact, it was when the result came out that we reported at the Agor police station. When we got to his house, he was not around. The general overseer of the church had called the victims' parents and was reprimanding them for involving the police. Can you imagine? Just to protect the image of the church, you want to cover a crime? The man said since he had already agreed to settle it for them, they should not have involved the police. We just told the family to play along. So they agreed with the general overseer, and that gave the suspect a false sense of security. He returned to his house, and that was how he was arrested. He was transferred to the gender unit on Tuesday. The director OPD, Mrs. Olayinka Adeyemi, said justice will be done, and it has been served already. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So, fam, can you see how these innocent girls were defiled by a so-called pastor under the guise of helping their father? Would you want to trust your girl child to a pastor? Would you want to trust your girl child to even an uncle or their cousins with this? It is important that parents should be more careful and watchful of whoever they entrust their children with, especially the girl child. Look at now, they've been defiled, and even though justice has been served, but their cannot be, it cannot be restored. It can't. And the trauma, that girl now, she will still have that in her memory throughout her life. I'm not sure she's going to be able to forget that. And I'm sure the mother will be feeling, how will I put it now, like she may not be able to forgive herself. She might feel she didn't do the best, she didn't play her role well, and all of that. So to avoid all this, let's stop entrusting our girl child to any male that is not blood related, even though some blood related sometimes they fuck up. Did you find this video interesting? If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and click on the red subscribe button down there. Click on the bell icon, select the option all so you get notified each time I upload a new video. And please kindly share this video out so that parents can be up and doing, can stay at alert and not entrust their girl child to any kind of person. And in my own humble opinion, I think we should stop entrusting our girl child to any kind of person that is not blood related, like I said earlier, even though sometimes they can misbehave, and blame it on the devil. Alright guys, I would sure love to see you in my next video. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate. Bye bye.